You'll be like,
This will be fun.
it will.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and not laugh too much.
That's alright. I'll try not to.
I'm silent as well.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Mm-mm.
I feel like he's gonna pull faces. It's gonna make me laugh.
He probably will.
So I'm not gonna
He probably will.
You
You might have to just shout. You're drifting music in the back.
randomly in the background. We got headphones on.
Hi guys,
Hey.
and welcome to another segment of Conversations with. Today I'm with a talented artist by the name of Axron.
Thank you.
Why music? Why is music the form through which you choose to express yourself?
I feel like I started expressing myself in music when I was, I'd say maybe like 14. Onwards from there. Funny enough, my dad's actually a DJ.
So on.
Yeah, he has a sound system called Axron Sounds, and he DJs over by like Notting Hill and does his own like events, more so for like our parents' age.
That sounds like so much fun.
Yeah. So I've kind of always, I guess, had it in my system, and my mum's always listened to music growing up, like whether it's lovers rock at home or a bit of funk or a bit of this, like some
old school stuff,
some Janet Kay or something.
Yes.
You know what I mean, something like that. So yeah, I've always been around music, so it was just sort of a matter of time before it was sort of, I guess, my turn.
Your turn. So your latest project that you've released is called Downtime, and you dropped that at the beginning of this year.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And for me, like, it's a very honest expression of everything that you've been through, and very heartfelt with certain songs. So what was kind of your overall inspiration for the whole project?
Downtime was like, well, originally I thought of the title about 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I've been working on this project for a long while, and it sort of just kept getting held off. And
Why was that?
Because there was a lot of life that I was living at the same time, and I think the best sort of music is created when you're living life, and you have things to actually talk about rather than just filling it with words that that just match to fill space basically. So a lot of my life was just being lived at the time, and Downtime, the actual title, came from just me going through a few personal things at the time, whether it was family related or relationships and all those different things, and just understanding that I needed to take a step back. And I just thought Downtime, I'd heard it one time, I just thought to myself, that really does fit with where I'm at in my life at the moment. Just taking a step back to just get everything together and then figure it out from there, really.
So how did you balance, because I know that you studied law, how did you balance everything, as you're saying, like family stuff, relationships, uni, as well as creating? How did you manage to balance everything?
Do you know, it was difficult, but music was always the outlet, because I put out my first project, which was Late Nights. I put that out in 2014, and prior to that, I had been working on music. I'd been going around to Kadeem's house. He's part of Drifted Music, but shout out Kadeem. And I'd been going around to his house and just really sort of starting to create and really express myself. And so being given that platform, I was able to kind of manage both law and really do music. I mean, I went to uni, and then from there it was almost like going to lecture and then coming home and sort of having this kind of, literally like a sort of that downtime again, just having a moment to myself where I can really express myself. And
just release.
Yeah, and I've kind of always had a balance of being able to understand that education is important and trying to get that done, because I think that's where I'm fierce. I get things done, whatever it is. So I knew I had to stick through with doing law because I really wanted to do law. But at the same time, I also had this creative person within me that would stay up late at night and be up at 1, 2 in the morning, couldn't sleep because I wanted to write or
So how do those things kind of cross over? Because I know for me, so I study religion, philosophy and ethics, and it's quite open-ended, and I feel like a lot of the time my studies do inspire my creative processes. Is that the case for you, and what you studied as well? Does it have any kind of influence on your creativity? Yeah,
I think it does. I mean, law can be very black and white, but it can be almost there's certain grey areas within it, and I think music can be like that as well. It's very transparent. You can literally leave it all within the music, and people can sort of grasp a bit of your character, whatever it is, or how creative you are, all these different things that you can't hide in the music. I think you can't hide when it comes to music. So I think that's what really kind of inspired it. Law was always an inspiration, but it was always this sort of separate thing where I was kind of like living two lives.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. So it was difficult. It was difficult, but you get through it.
So my favourite songs on the album, well, I've got quite a few, but my top two is Do It and Nothing But Love.
Yeah.
So I want like a breakdown into the creative processes for each song, the inspiration, all of it.
Okay, so I'll start with Do It. So Do It was created by a producer called Ryan Belovo. Get his name right. And he's actually producing most of the tracks for my next project.
Okay.
So you can kind of get a kind of feel of what that's all. It's a lot more jumpy.
Yeah.
But Do It was really, I just heard the sample and I don't know what it was. It just like, whenever I'm writing to a song or I'm writing to some sort of beat or something, like I just get this kind of like chill on the back of my spine, and I'm like, I know this is what I need to be doing for this moment in time.
You're on the right track.
Yeah, I'm on the right track. So Do It, it was the sample that caught me.
Yeah, like,
because that's just an iconic song. It's nostalgic. Like you remember your parents either playing it in the house, or you just, there's always some moment within time like where you've heard that sample. And I just thought to myself, you know what, like this is
to be done.
And then when it dropped, I was like, yeah. So
I was like, oh.
yeah. But on that vibe, I was more like, Do It's really a track to highlight that you have to really just enjoy life for the most part. I think a lot of people are suffering in general, whether it's mental health or depression or anxiety, all these different sort of things. So it was really a track of like, I wanted people to be able to put that on in the morning and feel like I can get on with my day.
Because that's what I do. It's like Monday morning motivation. I'll be like, yeah, do it.
Yeah.
For real, like it's proper. Because obviously the beat is like really happy and all that, and it's Candy Rain. Like you can't go wrong with a Candy Rain sample. Like it's just impossible. And then obviously the message behind it. And then Nothing But Love.
Nothing But Love. So I came across that track by a guy called Blue Star Fox, and he produces for quite a few people. He's a producer for Axron as well. So it was nice working with him because I kind of got an insight into, he told me sort of his story about how sort of he produces and things like that. But Nothing But Love, I think at first I didn't realise it was the Scissor sample, because it's a sample from Scissor on Control.
Okay.
That first bit, because it slowed down. I didn't realise it. And then I started, and then Nothing But Love, I wrote that probably within 5-10 minutes. I wrote that at the time because it was almost seamless. It was this thing of kind of feeling like almost like beating the odds. And I think that's the whole point of Downtime. It was almost this thing of like beating the odds. I'd gone through so much at the time, the last 2 years, that I kind of wanted a project where people could sit by themselves. You don't have to play it around people. You can literally be by yourself and you'll find the message within it in some part. So, and Nothing But Love follows on from Beautifully Haunting. So the whole premise behind it was sort of me understanding that like one part of my life, which was relationships, had been done. I'd kind of settled that part of relationships, and I was able to kind of see past maybe all the hurt and the anger, and be able to kind of come to like the part of being like, it's nothing but love at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's why I started out the project with having like the more deeper songs. It was almost like me trying to get them out of the way. Get them out of the way, and then I can go on to whatever else. And then that's sort of how Nothing But Love sort of came about. So
like for a lot of the songs actually, there's a lot of sampling. Was that intentional, or was it just a matter of okay, like the songs have all come together and quite a few of them have samples? Because if I'm right, I feel like I heard a sample from Me, Myself and I, Beyonce. There's like a riff that she does. I've heard, who else? At the Kit's interview on Compromise. What is Compromise? I love that. And obviously Candy Rain. So was the sampling, and Pure Imagination as well. So like was that an intentional thing that you liked those clips and you wanted it in the music, or did it kind of just flow together?
I think it was intentional in a sense. I mean, it just so happened I came across those sort of beats, and I'm always searching for new music, or working with producers, or sometimes even like editing bits myself or producing myself, and like chopping samples and doing those sort of things. So I knew that it would stick with people. I knew Candy Rain, that song, I knew that would stick with people. I knew that if you were a Beyonce fan, you'd listen to Lemonade and you'd be like, okay, yeah, this, you know, that track sticks with that, or Pure Imagination, you know, mind you of Willy Wonka.
Exactly.
It's just like there's all.
And I think that's what I like about the album. It gives it character, because I mean, obviously, people have their varying opinions on sampling, but I think your use of it is perfect, because it just means that the theme kind of sticks in your head a bit more. Yeah. And yeah, I like that.
And I was conscious about having too many tracks.
How many's on there again?
There's 14 on there, but there's 15. The last track has 2. So what I actually done was that, like the first, when I initially released it on SoundCloud, I'd only had 14 tracks on there. But I just felt as if it needed something else to finish it off. Okay. So the 15th track came with Apple Music and Spotify version. So it's merged in with Pure Imagination to the end. So that's how
that makes so much sense. I know I said that I've already mentioned like my favourite 2, but I really like the segue from AX Hours into KD Miles. Like the transition was just mwah, oh beautiful. Anyway, moving forward. So you're a member of the Drifters Collective.
Yeah.
What's that like for you? What's that?
You
enjoy it?
I love it. I think it's a platform. It's always been a platform for us to express ourselves. It's mainly consists of me and my other friend Kadeem. And he started it initially. Started everything. Just started to sort of build this platform where creatives can come together, whether you're a photographer or videographer or whatever it is, to just sort of express yourself. And so I always have to be thankful to him for giving me the opportunity to kind of come into something where he was already doing his musical sort of thing, and I was able to kind of like, you know, kind of go alongside him until I figured out my own path with what I wanted to do. I always knew what sound I wanted to create, but I just didn't know how to manifest it at times. Okay. It's just sort of a process. But yeah, Drifters music is a brilliant collective, and everyone should tune in.
Yeah, I'll follow for sure. Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time artistically?
I'd love to be touring the world at that point. I'd love, like, there's certain songs on Downtime that I would love to perform on a world stage. And then within
Do It has to be done.
Do It. Even Thoughtful. The track called Thoughtful. And I can just, when I listen back to that, like there's been times where I've been in this space, like this is where I created Downtime. Do you know what I mean? So there's been times where I've like just listened back to myself and I've been getting it to myself, and I'm just sitting here with my headphones on or whatever it is, or the monitor's playing, and I'm there, like, I can hear it being in like Brixton Academy and like the floor shaking or something. I'm just feeling it through like the wood floors. It's like those sort of things get me excited. Yeah. So in 5 years, I'd like to be in a position where I'm just either touring the world or just continually like creating. Really, I mean, I don't create just for myself. I create so people can feel like there's a platform to express themselves. I think a lot of people don't have that now. They're sort of struggling to express themselves, whether it's their emotions or whatever. And I'm a Cancer, so I've always been able to.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm a Cancer.
No
my
way.
rising sign's a Scorpio, and then so I've always had that kind of emotional. Sensitivity, but it's always been this kind of thing where I'm not afraid. Or
makes sense actually, because like sometimes I've watched your Instagram story and I'm like, wow, that's some like thought-provoking stuff, like, or like, you know, proper like
deep in the ocean. Yeah, it gets me in trouble sometimes.
Yeah, I should have guessed that actually. Name your top 5 favourite artists.
Oof.
Like of all time, or at least like who's kind of influencing you currently.
When I was listening to this project, creating this project, I was listening to a lot of King Cruel. King Cruel's one of my favourite artists. Drake is one of my favourite artists. I've always like, I'll be honest, but like, and then branching off from that, Party Next Door. Okay. I've always enjoyed that sound, the sound he creates. So King Cruel, Drake, Party Next Door. I was listening to a lot of A2 as well, and A2, you know, is great talent from ends. So it's nice to have someone, you know, doing their thing as well. Look up to them, but like, and fifth, one more. I think for the tracks like Lemonade and stuff like that, I was listening to a lot of Joey Badass.
Okay.
And Joey Badass, like it's that old, that not old school, I don't want to call it old school, but that 90s nostalgia kind of like boom bap kind of feel to it. So yeah, I was listening to a lot of that. Okay, so I said those are my 5. Got there again.
And then what about your top 5 favourite albums? Full-length projects.
Ooh, okay.
This is a difficult one.
This is a difficult one because there's so many. There's so many. I'd say, if I'm going off the artists that I picked as well, I'd say Party Next Door 2. That album was amazing. There's so many tracks on it, and then Nothing Was the Same. I think that was Drake's best.
Yeah, I think
album.
so too.
People will say Take Care, but
no,
that was the next. That was and I was in uni at the time.
Ah,
so it was just that nostalgia, being in uni, being in halls and listening to that. How can I? Do you know what? Kendrick. How can I forget Kendrick? Overly Dedicated is probably one of my favourite projects from him. Alongside Section 80. So those 3. To Pimp a Butterfly, yeah. Well, I think it had a deeper meaning, which wasn't. It's not a bad thing, but it was just more. It fit a purpose. Yeah. And because it fit a purpose, it did. It done its job for what it was. What it was for. For what it was for. Do you know what? I'm gonna throw Section 80 in there. Because that was a time. It really was. That was the time when that came out. And then, I love music so much. That's what it is. I don't think like people that don't really take in music too much. Yeah. Like, you just don't. You won't really get it.
It's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same. Do you know what album I really did like, but I don't know if it's one of my favourites that I was listening to a lot? Salient Souls. Is it Salient Souls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a mixtape.
I think that was a anyway, do you know, I'm not gonna start reviewing that. But yeah, I'd say those 5 are probably my favourite. They're all based on sort of my artists. Or 6 Feet Beneath the Ground is King Cruel album. That was brilliant as well. Sorry, I really wouldn't be
go on, It's a hard question.
It is, yeah.
Because like I just think music is so endless. So like, to try and say.
Well, I'll swap that Salient Souls for Archie Marshall.
What about vinyl? Do you collect any records? Do you have any memories associated with vinyl growing up?
Yeah, my parents always had vinyl. Like my mum's still got them in the cupboard.
Is it straight up?
Yeah, she brings them out every so often. But like my dad and my mum always had sort of vinyls around, and I just remember it sort of being, one, it's nostalgic, and 2, it's just this sort of thing of where, I don't know, you felt like you really owned it. Because it's all nice things being digital or like having CDs. I remember going in HMV and buying a CD, or even vinyls, but like it's this thing of like having like a blown up version of this sort of thing, and it's kind of like the artwork's all in your face, and like it's amazing. Like it really is. My brother as well, my older brother, he used to DJ like a lot of like drum and bass and jungle when it was like, and garage and that. So he had his own turntables. So I just remember him sort of flipping all the sort of like those jungle tracks and all of those sort of things. So that's sort of my memories of them. I don't own any vinyls myself, but I'd love to put Downtime or my next projects on vinyl just to have them. I mean, like I think Downtime would work more for vinyl because of the feel of it rather than like some 808s.
And what's the artwork as well?
But yeah, it's just nice taking out a vinyl and then having like the little paper, the plastic wallet and everything.
So your next project?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that real quick. What's it called?
Okay, so my next project is called Rap. So it's a playoff of my previous name, my artist name that I used to go by. So my previous name used to be Rapture, and I got that from like I was just young, and like I remember being on, funny enough, on like Xbox and stuff, creating your gamer tags and things like that. And I just, for some reason, I saw that name and I was just like, I read into it, and I know it's got biblical sort of meanings, connotations to it, but I remember going and reading a definition once, and it said something about your soul transcending to another state of being, and that alone made me think to myself, well, when I'm writing music, I do feel like I'm transcending to another state of being. I feel like I'm just away from this world almost, in my own thoughts. So I thought, that fits with it. And then I always put an X in all my projects, whether it's my name or if it's like the projects or the songs and things like that. And the X always stood for like the unknown, like X being the unknown.
Ah, okay.
So X just for me stands for like always finding a different part of myself. I feel like every single time I go into a project, it's almost I'm discovering a new part of myself. So X is the unknown that I'm yet to discover. So X being in my name just means that I'm yet to, there's always new stages of myself, that I'm discovering.
I like that.
And then I just switched it to Aaron with an X, because my name's double A, so you can just put an X and it sounds the same. But yeah, so I switched it to that, and that just basically just made it a little bit more personal. But yeah, that's where sort of the inspiration for sort of the name.
So is rap gonna be like a response to downtime, in a sense?
I was creating a lot of the tracks for rap during the time where like I didn't want to create like songs that were about my emotions and everything.
Okay, yeah.
So it was rap's a lot more jumpy. There's a lot more 808s in it. There's a lot more like, it's a lot more turn up. It'll be more like things that you can play during summer.
Okay,
calm. Windows down, or just or just put on a party or whatever, and all those sort of things. I've got a lot more features as well on my own personal projects. I don't really have a lot of features other than maybe Kadeem, because I've always worked with him. But I try to just keep it about what I'm sort of doing and stuff. And it's nothing against other people or their creative process, but it's my art.
Yeah,
but my project, I'll still work on mixtapes and work with people. There's no problem with that. But
no, I'm definitely looking forward to hearing it. When's it going to be out?
So I'm looking to put it out at the end of this month or beginning of April. So at the moment I'm just waiting back for my features and stuff. And then I mix and master my stuff. So I'm getting better with that. It's a long process, listening back to the same loop of yourself. There's times I have to step away from it because I'm just like, I'm tired of hearing my stuff. So it happens, yeah.
The For Vinyl Lovers motto is yesterday's memories in today's music. What memories do you want to create for your listeners, and what message do you want to leave behind for them?
So what memories do I want to create for my listeners? I'll start with that. So like, I never want people to feel alone in anything that they do. My projects, my music is always created so people can feel as if they have someone there that's either going through the same thing or something similar, or just to understand that, in this world, like I touched on before, things like mental health and all those sort of things, like, I think they're very prominent in today's society, and I feel like a lot of people subject themselves to feeling alone. And I think music is a way for people to really feel, it brings people together. That's where it is. So I want my listeners to feel as if they can really get to know me and understand me for who I am, and to understand that, I'm just like any other person, just expressing myself. Message I want to give to people is that communication is key. Communication is very key.
I've definitely learned that lesson.
There's nothing wrong with being empathetic and understanding that, your emotions are something that you have. They're not to be scared of. They're not to be ashamed of, and you should just keep going forward and learning to develop your emotional intelligence and all those sort of things. So yeah, that's
smart guy. High five, yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I couldn't ask for anyone better to do this interview.
Shucks.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Aaron. Okay, take care, guys. Bye.